Hey y'all, it's Katie. Welcome back to From My Vanity. Thank y'all so much for taking the time out of your day to check out a new video of mine. And today we are talking about my makeup trash. Yeah, I had told myself that I wasn't going to ever let it get too out of hand so that these videos stay relatively short and sweet, but it's gotten out of hand. This is not a small bin and it's nearly full. So we have a lot to talk about, but before we dive in, I do want to tell you guys that I do not save any products that I finish up in my project panning challenges. So I've done 2 this past year and I finished up several products, but instead of just saving them to then show you once again the finished product, I just tossed them. So you're not going to see any of those products here in this video today, and if you are curious what I've finished up in project panning videos, you can check out, I'll put it up in the eye above here, my project panning just playlist, but I'll also link down below the finale where you can actually see what I used up. So yeah, I just want to let you guys know that if you're ever curious, like, hey, I don't see such and such that you finished in your empties, it's just because I've already showed you the empties. I've already told you guys my thoughts on it, so I just don't see a point of rehashing it again. So yeah, that was the only thing I want to touch on real quick. Let's just go ahead and dive right in. I'm going in no particular order, just reaching into this bin of trash and we're going to talk about it. So the first thing on the top I'm sure you guys saw was the Cinema Secrets Makeup Brush Cleaner. I have the Big Daddy here. This is 32 fluid ounces and it is gone, and I already have a repurchase one, so you guys know obviously if I repurchase it, I really do like it. So this is such a lifesaver, especially for me being a very busy person, and not even just a busy person like going out and doing things. No, I mean some days it can take me like an entire day to clean a room, because I've got 2 little kids at home, so it's very hard to like kind of work everything in between, taking care of them, naps, YouTube, blogging. It's crazy days sometimes, so this comes in so handy. I do try to wash my brushes like with traditional soap and water on occasion, just because I feel like this is like alcohol based, I want to say. So unless I'm reading over, I can't find the ingredients on here, but I'm pretty sure it's alcohol based because it smells very strong. So I just feel like that's probably not the best to just continually be washing your brushes, especially if you want them to last a long time. So I save this for those days when I'm in a pinch. If like all my eye brushes are dirty and I need to be able to do my makeup the next day, I'll just sit down and use it real quick to wash a bunch of brushes, and it is so amazing. It's really nice, quick and easy. I can like wash all my eye brushes in probably 10-20 minutes. It's great, and it dries very, very quickly. It saved my butt so many times. I feel like that took so long. We're gonna try to speed things up. This is actually from Sally Beauty's It's Face Secrets. I don't know if that's Sally Beauty's brand, but this is kind of like a dupe for the Cinema Secrets. Now I haven't actually sat down to kind of compare them and just to see the price difference, but I really need to just sit down and compare and see if maybe this is more cost effective and I just buy a ton of these bottles, or if I should just stick to the Cinema Secrets and, you know, just do that. But it's the same kind of blue color, does the same job. I have no qualms with this. Next up, I have the Jergens Wet Skin Moisturizer. I've talked about this, I want to say in a previous monthly favorites. I'll link it wherever I talked about it, but I think it is a phenomenal product. If you are a busy mama like me, you need to get this. Even if you're not a busy mom, if you just don't like the added step of having to get out of the shower, dry off, put on lotion, then dry off again, get this. It'll save you so much time, and it is very moisturizing. I should put a disclaimer out. I do not have extremely dry skin, but my legs especially get pretty dry in the winter, and as long as I've been using this, I've had no issues. This is amazing. So then I have the Salisi Detox Smooth Multi-Action Gel Foaming Gel Cleanser. This, I think the best thing I can say for it is that it has a pump, which is nice. I like that. And it's 5 fluid ounces, so it lasts a long time. It's just not my preference when it comes to a cleanser for my face. I prefer a foaming cleanser, and this is more of a gel cleanser. So I don't know, there's something very satisfying and reassuring to me when I'm going to wash my face and there's just this foaming cleanser. I just feel like it's a lot cleaner, whereas with the gel, I felt like I was just putting lotion all over my face, so I felt like I was using more, trying to make sure I got everything clean, if that makes sense. But whatever the reason, it was fine. I won't ever be repurchasing it, but it didn't do anything bad. So the next was Colleen Rothschild's Medelic Acid Radiance Serum. I really, really like this. I mean, it's nothing that I felt like, oh my goodness, I could just see such a big difference in my skin when I was using it and then when I stopped, but I just felt like it was doing something for my skin whenever I put it on. And maybe it's that little acid in it that just helped kind of keep it clear. When I was using this and the whole like skincare routine that I had, I felt like I had zero breakouts. Now granted, right around the time that I ran out of this and a couple other parts of my skincare routine, I had a baby, and so your whole body just goes through hormonal adjustments, and now that I'm not pregnant, my body is a little different than it is when I am pregnant, so keep that in mind, but I just felt like it did something. But I have a lot of serums kind of in my drawer waiting for me to go through, and they have a shelf life, so I don't want them to go bad. So I don't have any plans to repurchase this anytime soon, but if I ran out of the serum and I wanted to repurchase something, this would be high on the list for me. I mentioned this in the brands I try to love but can't, but this is the Pixi 24 karat eye elixir. I don't know how much this has in it, like 1 fluid ounces, but it felt like it had like 10 ounces of product in it. It took so long to go through. I felt like it did absolutely nothing for my under eyes, and when I was just using this, I noticed my under eyes like not looking good. So the way I used it up is I would put this on and then I would let it soak in, and then I would go on top of it with another eye cream just to give me the moisture that I needed, because I just felt like I was putting water on my eyes. So I didn't see any kind of lasting benefits. It does have like a little metal rollerball tip, which was kind of soothing, but that was about the only pro that I could find with this product. I have been going through Pixi's Glow Tonic though. This is their 5% glycolic acid, and I also have these Glow Tonic to go. They're little toner pads as well, 5% glycolic acid, and they work good. I feel like they're not as exfoliating of a toner as I prefer and am used to. I'm used to using erythromycin, I think is the word, pads to kind of give me that kind of exfoliating, cleansing step in my makeup routine or in my skincare routine, but my pharmacy has been out of it for a little while, so I've been kind of substituting the erythromycin pads with this Glow Tonic. I think it's all right. I just don't think it's as exfoliating as the erythromycin. Would I repurchase it? If I can get back on erythromycin, I just feel like it does a teensy bit more than this, but it does a good job. So if I couldn't get erythromycin, I would repurchase this because I do like having an exfoliating cleanser, kind of like a BHA or AHA in my step, but I can't use the ones I prefer, like the ones Paula Choice sells. Hers are amazing, but I can't use them because I'm nursing now. I was pregnant, I'm nursing now, and you can't use those when you are nursing or pregnant. So this works well. Then I have the L'Oreal Clean Artiste Waterproof and Long Wear Eye Makeup Remover. It's fine, but it didn't replace my Holy Grail one from Almay. I feel like that one's just so much better. This one does a decent job, but I feel the Almay is just a little bit better at removing makeup. For the price, I don't even know if this is that much more expensive than Almay, but the reason I picked this up was because it was on sale. The Almay was not, so it was a little bit cheaper at the sale price, and I was like, oh, I never tried this. Let me give it a try and see if it can replace my Almay. It didn't. I mean, not to say this is a bad product. I think this is fine. It gets off waterproof mascara and eyeliner very nicely, but it just is not as good as my Almay, so when I had to repurchase, I repurchased my Almay. I also finished up this Beauty Sleep Cream. It's a rich night treatment from Pixi, but I just felt like it didn't do anything. It was okay with moisturizing. It didn't give me any kind of extreme moisturizer. I dropped it. Didn't give me any kind of extreme moisture, and it was one of those products you just use, and I was like, I used up a product. My skin didn't like freak out over it. My skin didn't do better with it. It was just okay. And since there are night creams that I enjoy more, it's a product I'll never repurchase. So it was just kind of like I used up this deluxe size like travel sample of the First Aid Beauty Face Cleanser, and I really did like it. It was fine. It's not a product I'd ever repurchase because I enjoy my Olay one a lot more, so whenever I have to repurchase, I repurchase that because it is pretty darn inexpensive, and First Aid Beauty is a little bit expensive. There was nothing wrong with this, but I just personally wouldn't repurchase it because I'd rather just get a cheaper one at the drugstore that I like just as much. I've gone through 2 of these bad boys. 2 of them. Yeah, I really do like this stuff, and I get this baby so cleaned. I use every last drop of it up. Now, if you've ever used the Clinique Take the Day Off, or if you've ever used a cleanser and like after you wash your face off and stuff, your eyes are just kind of cloudy, I don't like that, and this does not do that. It makes this worth the repurchase. I do want to try 2 other cleansing balms that I've seen on the market that I've seen people raving about it, so I'm not going to repurchase it anytime soon. I think I have 1 more in my backup. You guys, I love this stuff, but once I get through that, I don't think I'll repurchase it because I do want to try a couple other ones just to see if there's anything cheaper, what else is on the market, if there's anything better than this. But you guys, at this point, this is my like holy grail when it comes to cleansing balms because it is amazing. Then I have the Clinique Moisture Surge Moisturizer. I've actually had a full size of this, and I got this as like a freebie when I made an Ulta purchase, and I really do like it. It is so nice, sinks in so like quickly and smoothly, no stickiness, no heaviness left over. I love it. It reminds me of the Neutrogena one, which is, I think, kind of a cheaper alternative. I don't know like ingredients wise if they're a dupe, but they they perform similarly for me. So I would repurchase this if there was a sale and kind of made it a little bit lower, and then I would totally spend the money on this because this is one of my favorite night creams. I like to really, you know, pamper my skin at night and let the moisturizers just kind of pile on, the serums and moisturizers, and let them soak in, but I don't like to have a really thick, heavy feeling, and this is just kind of the perfect middle ground for me. I feel like it does a lot to give me moisture, but it doesn't leave me with a thick feeling. I also tried the Belief, the True Cream Aqua Bomb. I feel like everyone talks about this. I got a little, like, 100-point perk from Sephora. It was okay. I feel like you could definitely use too much, and then it was just like super like thick and heavy on my face, so I had to make sure I went in with a very little bit. So it's not my preference, and since I've tried it, it didn't wow me enough to want to repurchase the full size. I also tried the Real Techniques Deep Cleansing Gel, and oh my goodness, this was awful. I really hate to say awful, but it was pretty darn bad. It would not get my brushes clean, no matter how much I used. I ended up, the only way I like actually used this whole baby up was I used it for my eye brushes because they're a lot easier with just a little bit of powder. They're a very little bit, you know, they're a very small brush, so it's very easy to go through. So I used it with my eyeshadow brushes and just kind of cleaned it, and I had to use a lot, but I could get, you know, my brushes clean eventually. If you try to use this with like my foundation brushes that have like liquid in them, or my concealer brushes, no, I would be there forever, and I'd probably use like half a cup worth of this to get them entirely clean. It just doesn't clean. Yeah, this did not impress me. Would not repurchase or recommend. I also bought the Daily Brush Cleaner from e.l.f. to try on a whim because I like the idea of just kind of spritzing on and then rubbing it on a towel and, you know, being done with it. Nice, quick, and easy, and this is pretty inexpensive, but this just didn't do much of anything. For one, the spritz is extremely like broad. I don't think there's anything left. Yeah, it's very broad, so it's very hard to get a, you know, kind of just focus on a brush when it wants to go everywhere else. And then it's just didn't really clean. Like, I had to spray it a ton of times, and no joke, I went through this in probably a week. I just drained this thing, and I think it's because I have to spray so much in order to get it clean for it to work. So yes, it's inexpensive, but no, it is not worth the price, and no, I won't be repurchasing. Then I have a perfume. It's a Kat Von D Saint perfume. I got this from Sephora and used this whole thing up. I really do enjoy this. It's a really nice scent. I'm terrible at describing scents, so don't ask me. And I kind of miss it now that I'm sitting here smelling it, so I would recommend it. I mean, I feel like perfume is hard to recommend, but I like it, and I can see myself purchasing either another point perk or the little travel size in the future. All right, we are on to makeup. I have two concealers to talk about. The one is the Maybelline Fits Me concealer. I love this stuff, and I have been itching to open a new one, but I've been trying to go through some of my concealers that I have open. It's a fantastic concealer. It's not too heavy duty. It's a more of a lightweight, kind of light coverage concealer, but it's phenomenal for every day, or if you want to just highlight your face and kind of lighten it. So I really do like this. I like it for under my eyes. I like it for spot concealing. It's just a phenomenal and very inexpensive concealer. Then the Smashbox Studio Skin 24-Hour Waterproof Concealer was fine. It was a decent concealer. I had no issues with it. My biggest problem and reason I wouldn't consider purchasing it is because it deepens up a lot. Like, you swipe it on and then give it maybe 10 seconds and it's like 2 to 3 shades deeper. And so that always threw me off, and I don't know, it's just because of that I wouldn't reach for it very often. I like this, the consistency is probably medium, I would say, so I prefer that for under my eyes and kind of brightening under my eyes, but because it got so dark I couldn't use it for that. So all around, I would use it again if I got it in my collection or if someone gifted to me. I don't think it's a terrible concealer, but because like I like the Urban Decay Naked Skin so much better, if I was going to purchase a high-end concealer, it would be that, because I wouldn't have to worry about it oxidizing. So I do want to mention this briefly because this was in my project pan for last time, I want to say. I'll link it up here, the finale, so you guys can see, but I didn't finish it in there. But I just kept it in my drawer and been using it up, and I did actually complete it. I said in there that I was going to buy the different Maybelline powder just to try, but I actually realized after I finished this up and I was looking through my backup drawer, I have another one of these, so I'm not going to purchase any face powders or powder foundations right now because I have a whole nother one of these I need to use up. Overall, I didn't have any qualms with this, and I'm gonna gladly use the one in my backup drawer. No issues there, but yeah, I just want to share that I actually did finish it. The Maybelline The Rocket Volume Express is a phenomenal mascara. This has been like one of my favorite mascaras of all time. I think I'm trying out one that I have on my lashes today that might knock this off its throne. But when I think about like all the different type of mascaras that are out there, all the ones that I've tried, this is one I've repurchased I think 3 or 4 times. That's how much I like this. And there's just something about it. The wand is my favorite because it has these really teeny tiny bristles, and it's not that kind of, I don't even know, natural bristle brush. It's like a plastic bristle brush. I don't know what they call it, but whatever it is, I like this more than the traditional kind of bristles, like with the BH Cosmetic one. Let me open it. Like this, it's not my preference when it comes to the bristles. So I love the Maybelline, and yes, I can see myself repurchasing it if it doesn't get knocked down by another mascara I'm trying right now. BH Cosmetics Bliss Lash Ultimate All-in-One Mascara. I don't think it's an ultimate all-in-one. I always had to use this with some other mascara to get the look I wanted. And I mean, it won't screw on right. And I've had it over 3 months, so there's still a little bit left in here, but I don't enjoy using it, so I'm gonna toss it. I've used it enough to feel like I got my money's worth out of it, and I'm done with it. I don't really recommend it unless you like that type of bristle. It's a decent mascara. Then I have the Dior, what is this called? Plump in Volume, and it's the one with like the little squeezy tube. This is a really nice mascara, but I don't see myself repurchasing it because there's so many mascaras from the drugstore that I like and do just about the same thing. But once again, this is the kind of bristles that I prefer. It's not that natural like haired bristle. It's like a plastic, and I really do like that, and it really does give me the lashes I like. My favorite way to use this was after I kind of applied a different mascara that kind of separated them. I would use this, and it just really pumped up the volume, as it says, and gave me so much like just volume and definition and really black lashes. So I loved it. I really did enjoy using it. Can I see myself repurchasing it? Not really, just because I can get a mascara at the drugstore that does basically the same thing. I have a couple gel eyeliners. 2 of them are from Rimmel. They're the Rimmel Scandalize. This black one I tried to pan during one of my project panning, and I did a pretty good job getting down there. It's just pretty old, as is this nude one. I want to say I've had it for 3 years. So I'm just gonna throw them away. They're very affordable. I'm going to repurchase them because they are the best gel liners. I've tried so many from the drugstore, and they just fade or just look watery to begin with. These are so pigmented. They glide on so easily. They're like one swipe. You don't have to sit there and kind of rub it into your waterline, and they stay on all day. So I can't recommend these enough, and I will be repurchasing these. I also have one from Lancome. It is their, what is it? Oh, Drama Liquid Pen. It's half shaved off, but it's their Drama Liquid Pen liner in black, and I still have more product to go, but I feel like it's just getting old at this point. I want to say I've had it like a year, and it's an okay mascara. It's kind of the same way with the Rimmel. I'm sharpening it every time I use it because I sharpen it. I get some fresh product. It glides on no problem, but then by the time I use it the next day, it's kind of dried out. So it's just old. I need to toss it. It's an okay liner. It stays pretty decently in my waterline. I still think the Rimmel stays better than this, but it's nice. Would I repurchase it? No, because I can repurchase the Rimmel, so there's that. I also used up a Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volume Mascara for your brows. Yeah, mascara. They call it a mascara. This is that really interesting kind of shaped wand, and I really love this. I think it's great. If you have very big, bushy, kind of natural brows like I do, I say get this. Right now, the only thing I have in my brows is that Brow Gal, I think. I got it in my BoxyCharm. It's okay, but I honestly like this one more. Because of that really flat shape, it's really easy to just kind of do like 5 swipes and you have it all over your brows and you're set to go, and it doesn't leave your brows feeling crunchy, which I really appreciate. I mean, it leaves it with enough hold, but not like super stiff like hairspray or anything. So I like that about it. It gives me a little bit of color. My brows are big enough so this isn't an issue of like, you know, getting messy everywhere because there's plenty of real estate on my brows, let's be real. So all around, this is a phenomenal product, and yes, I can see myself repurchasing. Butter London. I also have their Glaze and Eye Gloss in Frosted, and I was heartbroken when I went and like opened it one day, and I was like, oh, this is so pretty, I want to use it. But it's completely hard. I must not have screwed the cap on right, and it's all dried out. How long have I had these? I'm going to put the review that I did for these down below. I purchased 3 of them at the same time. I want to say over a year ago. I'm not really sure, but you can look there on the review. But yeah, I must have screwed it on wrong because it's all dried out. And the other 2 that I purchased at the same time as this are fine. So I don't think it's just because it got old. I think it's because I screwed it on wrong. I'm really bummed though because this is one of my favorites in Frosted. So not gonna lie, I might pick Frosted up again if it goes on sale because I really did like the color. I thought it was beautiful, and I'm kind of sad that I don't have it anymore. So So yeah, there you have it. Those are all my makeup empties. I want to say the last time I did one was in the middle of December, and it's now the beginning of May. So there was a lot of empties to go through. Thank you so much for sticking around through all that. I'm going to keep this outro very short and sweet because one, I'm thirsty, that was a long video, and two, my little man is waking up, so I gotta go feed him. But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye guys.